Fast Cars, Fast Girls with Abby and Molly.
Race report from the road. It's the last race report of, well, I guess it's the first race report of 2019.
It is the first race report of 2019, but it's the last race report that we're going to do in Season 2.
It's bittersweet.
It is.
But Season 3 is just around the corner, so I'm not too
It sure is, and I'm excited. And this was a great way to kick off the 2019 race season.
It's always a great way. I think, kind of like when we interviewed Mike Hawley, talked, everybody's there because this is the first season to get started. It's the first big race, so just everybody's there. And he was talking more about drivers and personnel, but I think as far as fans go, all the fans are here.
Yes.
Like, everybody shows up because everybody's discipline is represented here.
And we're all ready to see some cars.
Yeah. It's been a long summer. Everybody's cold. Let's go. Let's see some cars. That's Daytona to me.
Yep. It's been a long winter. Yeah.
The Rolex 24.
And we've had a lot of time without cars, so we're tired of other sports.
Yeah.
Super what? We don't care.
I don't care anymore. Until we had to drive through Atlanta. I'm like, uh-oh. Why they keep talking about the Super Bowl?
So, all right. The Rolex 24.
I never know where to start on this race.
I know. Well, let's start with some of the fun stuff.
Not the rain.
Not the rain. We got there. We camped with our usual people. We decided this year we are like the clown car of camping sites.
We really are.
We like to share our passes and cram as many people into one site as we can.
And I don't feel bad about saying that because I think it happens everywhere.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. And so it's just unbelievable how many different tents and vehicles we can get in one spot.
It's like how we pack the van. It's the Tetris of camp spots.
It is.
Because we had people here and then somebody else was like, can I come and bring my tent? And we were like, okay, hold on. And like just moving things around.
Yep.
Yeah.
We literally had already got our tent set up. We just picked the stakes up out of the ground, shifted it.
All right, now there's room.
Yep.
Surprise.
So yep, our usual Speedway race boys were there.
Oh, it's always fun.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, we had Doug Thornton, of course, who everybody knows. Mr. Tom, Brian, and Debbie. We had the Styles. Chicago.
Always a blessing because they're at a few races and it's just a treat to see them.
It is. It is always a treat to see them. And then we had DJ T. Swan.
Right. Paint Tour was represented at Daytona. Well, I don't think it's an official Paint Tour sanctioned event.
It wasn't an officially sanctioned event.
So
however,
I do want to say that it is not an official Paint Tour event, but they did have
representation.
Yes, maybe a representative. I don't know how formal they would like that to be.
Yeah.
I will leave that up to the Paint Tour.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's an unpaid position either way.
Yeah. No, he's not getting paid at all.
No, definitely not.
But DJ T. Swin.
DJ T. Swin. So
nearly pulled the 24 with us. He did not, though.
He did not quite make it.
No.
We did. We did it twice, actually, because we drove straight through on the way down, caught up on sleep a little, and then stayed up for 24 for the race.
Yeah. And now we're at the tail end of our return back.
We are. I'm sure everybody can hear. Nobody's surprised. It's the end of a race weekend. And actually, my voice sounds much better today than it has in the last 36 hours.
That's true. You were much worse yesterday than today.
I was. The cars, trying to talk over the cars, being excited for the cars, and then, as it always does, your girl can't say no to karaoke.
That's true.
Too much drunk singing.
It happens.
It does. So yeah, so the fun stuff. Great camping partners, as always.
As always. I mean, the whole weekend was fun. I feel weird that we just listed off who we camped with and we're like, well, that's the fun stuff. Like, it was a fun weekend.
No, it was a fun weekend, but the thing is, the people you go with really...
They make it. Yes.
Yeah, it goes from being a good experience to a great experience.
100%. It elevates it.
It does. Oh, and Donnie and Nancy, too.
Yeah. Oh, and we forgot Dana.
Oh, how could we forget Dana?
Nobody can forget Dana.
Who got upgraded to be my big brother for the weekend.
Yeah, I think it's not just for the weekend. Somehow
it's
y'all are...
forever, because anytime a guy said something the least bit disrespectful, Dana was like, the fuck did you just say?
Right. He was like, first of all, what you won't do.
And I was like, thank you. He was like, does this happen all the time? I'm like, yes. It's hard to be a woman at a racetrack sometimes.
Sometimes it's hard.
So thank you for being our bouncer.
Yeah.
Yes, how can we forget Dana?
We can't.
Honest to God, I didn't even realize his tent was over there. It was like Tetris tent.
It was hidden. I can't point it out. If somebody showed me a map of the campsite, I'd be like, somewhere in here.
Yeah, like there were tents that I was like, you're staying here too?
Right, how did this happen?
I thought he just came back really early.
But he just, somewhere else. No, what?
Semi-trucks have been doing all kinds of silly things this entire drive.
Right, I don't know why he's trying to get over. Okay.
Yeah, there's no need.
Anyway, back to the race.
Anyway, so yes, there were lots of other fun things, but the people we came with made it awesome.
They did.
Yeah. And just the energy and the excitement. We're all just giddy about racing.
That, I think, is something that it's hard to describe about the Rolex. That it's the first one of the season, kind of as we let off, everybody's tired of waiting, and so there's just this added bonus of we're finally starting everything up again.
Yeah. And just like you have drivers from all different disciplines that come and participate,
Yeah.
you have race fans from all different disciplines of motorsports.
Oh, 100%.
So we've got people that are just hardcore sports car and IMSA fans. We've got IndyCar fans. We've got F1 fans. We've got NASCAR fans. We've got NHRA fans. I mean, everybody's represented.
Everybody's there. Everybody's ready for racing.
And, yeah. Because we just haven't seen cars in a while, and we don't care who you are. We want to see you go fast.
Yep, that's it. That's my one. Are you going to go fast? All right, let's go then.
Let's do it. So, but yeah, I do want to give a shout out to everybody that we came with, because
You know, they always are great.
they are good times. Good times. Oh, and Mark, clutch at the end,
Yes.
keeping the last canopy up
Because,
in a ghost town that became the infield after the rains, after the skies opened up and
oh
poured
my
down on us.
God, the storm that nobody knew was going to turn into that.
Ugh.
Well, maybe if we all had, like, TV, we would have known, but we didn't think it was going to be an 8-hour rainstorm.
Well, it started out there was just going to be a little bit. And
Yeah.
then at some point I was like, oh, guys, it's going to finish under rain. But it still looked like it was still light green. And
At some point, I think my app was actually the first app to be like, no, it's going to be all day. And I was like,
and then you told me, and I looked, and I'm like, let me check my 3 apps that I go back and forth on. I was like, oh, yep, we're
Yep.
about to be screwed.
It's going to be a fun ending.
It's coming for you.
It is. The rain. She knows.
The bell tolls for thee. So, yeah.
I mean, let's the rain. We might as well just
Yeah.
start there. I mean that was a full-on secondary storyline of the race, because once everybody knew it was going to rain, teams were like, okay, like our ride plan is this, but when it rains, we got to shift everything around.
Yeah.
And
So it threw a wrench in everybody's plans, and they also,
Everybody.
I mean, we all had the information around the same time, because it was going to be, okay, here's the plan, it's going to rain for a little bit, you're going to drive during this, and then it was, no, everybody's going to have to drive some in the rain, because it's just going to rain for too damn long.
for complete, yeah, and because, yeah, and it just, whew. And then the track got wet. And by wet, I mean
And not a little wet.
standing water in turns 1, and then the bus stop in the back. Standing water.
Standing water in the bus stop. The international horseshoes weren't any fun either.
No, yeah, turn 1 was just
Yeah.
where it hit, and you know that's a hard turn to begin with.
Yeah, that turn
Add
is
standing
dicey.
water, and I lost count of the cars who lost it there.
Oh, so many people just ate shit in that turn.
Yeah, well, that's where the 31 car lost it, and then Fernando was like, all right, I'm going to just take the lead now.
Right? And
Held it.
And then there were no greens after that, I believe.
Yeah.
It was yellow or red flag right afterwards, or maybe...
Soon about,
Yeah.
they went yellow, and then they were like, screw it, we're going red again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there was not even an opportunity to pass after that.
so
But yeah,
it-
no, the rain was like its own driver in that race. That's,
yes.
yeah.
And it led to, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people said they don't want to be a race director after this weekend because you make a decision. Some people aren't going to like it. Some people are. First of all, that's my whole life anyway. But, you know, IMSA went, let's see, about
7:22.
yeah. It's when they
was
went,
the exact time.
when they
for
went red.
The first red, yep.
And we were up on the stadium. We were taking some pictures there, and it was under a yellow. And finally, like the lights all went off. And
Well,
they
they were about to go green.
Yeah, I would say they were about to go green, and it was like, and then all of a sudden it was like, nope, just kidding, we have a red flag.
Which was so bizarre, because it was, I mean, we literally had cameras and phones ready, because we had already seen them go green in some lighter rain.
Yes.
And things had gotten squirrely, and we thought, it's raining heavier now, and this is going to be kind of a shit show.
A little bit.
So we were ready to capture it all.
I mean,
naturally.
I don't want it to happen, but I will capture it because, well,
That's what you do.
It's happening in front of me.
Yeah. And so we're all ready, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, nope, they're going to red flag it.
Yep, and that red flag was much longer red flag than the second one.
It was.
I don't know the exact, but they stayed red for quite enough time
Almost
for us.
2 hours.
Yeah, we got back to the campsite, started talking to people before they got everybody back in the car to start it up again.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that thing was following that first red. It was maybe green for, I'd say, 10 to 30 laps in total.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, from the first green after the first red, so the first green was at approximately 9 a.m. The 13th yellow was at 9:10.
Yeah. So
It did not take long.
it didn't. And they kept trying to go back to green, trying to go back, and they would get like 1 lap, maybe 2 laps, and then something would happen and they go yellow. And so they...
I mean, there were still things happening even on the yellow.
Yeah, it was never not something happening.
No.
And so eventually they just called it. They red flagged it. Oh, I don't know when that last red flag was.
I'm not exactly. Let's see.
I want to say it was like 1-ish.
Yeah, it was around 1.
Yeah.
And they said that they would have an update at 2, which they did not.
Which they red flagged it. Everybody looked at the radar and went, it's never coming back. Which is okay.
It is. And a lot of fans had already left
Yes.
by that point. And then the second red flag, most of the rest of the people went ahead and left as well.
Yeah. And it was...
Us included. We hung out for just a little bit just to see, okay.
What's happening? Okay. This is really happening.
And then we checked the radar and thought there's not a snowball's chance in hell. Because in a 24-hour race, the clock doesn't stop because of the red flag.
Right. So they were like... 2:35 comes, the race is ending one way or the other.
Yeah. And we looked at our watches and thought, okay, well...
We can get on the road.
Yep, we can get on the road because at 1:30 it was raining hard as hell with no end in sight.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, much different ending than last year.
Much different ending than last year.
Last year had blue skies and sun.
This year, not so much.
Not so much. Luckily, the rain didn't start until we were done with all of our shenanigans
Yes.
in the infield.
I
So,
do appreciate that.
yes, that was nice for us.
So,
And the beginning of this race, something that you don't get to do at any of the other races we go to, actually, is that you get to walk straight across the grid.
right?
You are a stone's throw away from drivers and cars being paraded in front of you. So you can take pictures, video, we did all of that.
Or hoot and holler at him, which
Hoot
we
and
also
holler.
did.
We also did. We yelled at our buddy Simon Pagino, of course.
Who saw us?
Who, heard somebody yell, and so he turned to wave, and then he realizes it's us, and he gets a big old grin and points at us, and then he blew us kisses, so.
Yay. I mean, we did hoot and holler at any IndyCar driver who went past.
Yes, every IndyCar driver, yeah.
You got a hoot or a holler. One of
Yep.
the two. Maybe both.
Maybe both, and if we really like it, we yelled your name first.
We did. Because we wanted you to know that people know that IndyCar is better.
As a matter of fact, we 100% did that to the Yunkos drivers because
Well, it's their first time.
it's like they're like a Cinderella story to me. I love that team.
I absolutely love that team. I adore that team. All I hope for is good things for that team. And yes.
Yes, it was not the race they wanted to have.
No.
But their first year coming in the most cutthroat class.
Thank you. Like DPI, they didn't even start like, all right, we're going to start like a GT. No, they were like, we're going DPI. We're going prototype.
Straight up in it. So yeah, Bender and Kaiser got their names yelled and
a big
hollered.
check wave.
Like, because I want to let you know, I know who you are, and I'm
see you.
supporting this.
I'm here for you guys. They, yeah, like you said, not the race they wanted to have, but they didn't stop.
They sure didn't. They do not know the meaning of the word quit.
They don't. And it was, they started the race off, there was like a throttle issue, so they immediately had to pit, got laps down, got back, the car lost power again, more laps down. I think they spent like 40 minutes fixing that first problem.
Yeah.
And then back out again and like completed the race. So they finished it.
Yeah, they did.
In a race where there were a lot of DNFs.
There were a lot. I actually saw one tweet about halfway through the race where somebody said everything that could possibly go wrong has somehow, all of them have happened to the Yunkos team.
Which is bad, but at the same time you're like, all right, next time we know, hey,
it can't get any worse. Like,
we did all of these things last time. We know what to do.
Well, and it's also, things outside of your control happen.
Yeah.
You can roll with it.
Yeah.
They rolled with it this year. I mean,
all right, the car shut down. Let's fix it and keep going.
You already know your first year somewhere is going to be
call her, sorry.
You already know your first time doing something is going to be the most difficult time because it's a learning year.
Exactly.
It's always trial and error. Same as our first time to the Daytona last year was
a lot of trial and error.
Heavy on the error.
I don't know why she's still calling. Sorry.
No worries. So
sorry, listeners.
Yeah, sorry about that. Molly's getting phone calls. She's important.
Well, I have to go back to. I mean, we got to go back to work tomorrow, so work's already like, oh hey, no.
So anyhow, but yeah, a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
Heavy on the error for us last year.
Yeah.
As you do. But yeah, so I think that they probably came into it in a headspace of this is going to be hard because it's our first time, and they had all of these things, not go according to plan, and they just rolled with the punches as they came.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot for them,
yes.
for their team, their drivers. I mean, I think that goes clear to the top.
Oh, Ricardo Juncos is one of these people who's like, you know what? I'm going to handle this, whatever it is.
Yeah. I haven't seen a story on it, but I'll bet you money Ricardo Juncos was up for 24 hours too.
Oh, he was. Probably at some point he had a wrench, like, I'll fix it. What do I need to do?
Right? Oh, he was back there in that garage.
Oh, yeah. Wherever the car was, Ricardo was.
You know it.
Yeah, I will be interesting to see how they do in Sebring, because I think they will already be better.
I agree.
That team will always be better than next time, because it's a very much okay, here's what we did, here's what we can do better, we will implement it ASAP.
Let's learn.
So.
Well, and that's why they, want to do 2 IndyCars, is because then you have more data.
Yeah.
They are very much a make a plan, see how it goes, assess it,
yep,
readjust, reevaluate. Like,
yeah,
I love it.
I do too.
This man makes the Science Havoc method proud.
He does. He really does. So that's you. I don't know. We're kind of jumping around.
We are.
How it is on road reports.
But yeah, so we got there because, at the beginning, so yeah, you cross the grid, see all these drivers. We just
hollered at all of them.
Hollered at all of them. And a tradition is to write on the yellow.
We didn't post
on the
that.
track. Oh, I snapped it.
Well, yeah, but it's gone now.
It's true. But yeah, so we'll post it later. But Fast Cars, Fast Girls signed the track, and then we wrote in the bottom hashtag IndyCar is better.
Because, hey, we like this, but let's be real clear about who's number one in our hearts before we continue on our road report.
Yeah.
Oof. Going over.
Sorry, construction. The lanes are all wonky.
Yeah, and there's like shit everywhere on them now.
Yeah. So yeah. IndyCar definitely has our hearts, but
yes.
But yeah. So we go up into the stands with our group to watch the start of the race, and what's cool about that stadium is that it's kind of built like a football stadium.
Yes.
It's very, the seating is huge. There's escalators, which I'm all about. You're up so high that you feel like you're going to fall almost.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have that feeling of, if I trip, I'm dead.
Right, especially that escalator. There's a moment like, if this breaks somehow,
yeah,
we're not surviving this.
That's it. Yeah,
we're not surviving it.
But yeah, got to see the green flag up there. Watch everybody scroll around, and it's just amazing to me because there's 4 different classes.
Yes.
And they're all fast, and when you watch them qualify, they qualified in 2 groups.
Yeah, they kind of qualify by like type, car type.
And so you see some difference, but not a lot. Well, during the race, it's just amazing how quickly the DPIs
just
start lapping traffic.
Oh, yeah, I want to say it's within about the first 15 laps, they're already lapping people, and you're like, well, this is where shit gets wily.
Yeah, and then, they're just fighting through traffic the entire time.
Yeah, they are never not in traffic.
Which is just...
Except in a restart.
Yeah.
Which is always interesting because where we camp is kind of the restart reshuffle area.
Yes.
So whenever we would be there waiting on a restart, you would see like all of a sudden just like 8 DPIs come back across the field. And I was like, yay!
Right.
It's kind of fun to watch.
It is. And it's like, it's about to go green.
Nope. Let's go. So, yeah. I enjoy watching it from our vantage point. We stayed for about the first 50 laps.
Yeah, we stayed for a while. And we were there for a hot minute, and then we went back to, put up camp because we were staying up 24 hours, and we were so committed that...
We struck camp.
Yep. Took it up, took everything down, put it in the van. Plus, we did know the rain was coming.
Yeah.
And we knew that we were already going to stay up.
And what we didn't want to do was put up a wet stuff after being awake for more than 24 hours,
No,
really.
we were definitely not going to mess with that afterwards.
No.
So it was like, well, this is perfect because it's going to rain anyway. We aren't going to. So
Deal with it.
we're gonna stay up anyway. So let's go.
That's 100%.
No turning back.
Nope. Really, no turning back at that
I know
point.
at that point, everybody with us, you're really not going to sleep, are you? No.
Absolutely not.
No, we are not.
All right. Let's see. Right. I guess we should just start running down people and cars and stuff. We can. Let's do the Penske's. Let's start off with the DPIs, our Penske boys.
Oh,
The sister cars of Acura.
yes. And I'll tell you what, I was just heartbroken for the number 6.
God.
Just heartbroken.
To begin with, the DPI class itself, everybody was challenging everybody in the top, especially those top 4 positions. Everybody led the race at some point, and they battled it till the end.
Yes.
So I'm going to just start off with that class. Everybody battled. Like, it was not a boring race because there were passes and fights and strategery going down.
Yeah, there were. And in fact, that's something that everybody who went to bed really missed out on.
Yeah.
Because the Acuras and the Cadillacs were just playing musical chairs
The whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Just in and out. And the Acuras were owning it for so long. I mean, they
really
were 1 and
was
2.
a great race for them. Oh, I know.
And had the number 6 not had the mechanical issues it had, I mean, that was the car to beat, in my opinion.
It was a fast car.
It was.
a fast car.
And that was Cameron Pagenaud and Montoya.
Yes.
And that car was fast. Those drivers are fast.
Oh my God. We love it that Montoya started because that car was ready to go from the gate. And you're like, oh no. Yeah.
And he took the lead.
He did. He jumped after like 2 to 5 laps.
Yeah,
He
it was
front.
within the first 10 laps, that car was in front.
It was beautiful.
And we laughed because, having talked to Mike Ford a couple weeks ago, we found out that Montoya doesn't care who's behind him. So we were like, well, that spotter just went out to take a coffee break.
Mike just was like, well, I'm going to just sit here for a little bit, drink some coffee,
I got nothing to say till he hits lap traffic.
check my emails.
Yep. There's no one in front of him right now.
And then, tragedy struck.
Tragedy struck. And I will say, I mean, I don't want to not say anything about the number 7 car because that, again, was another car.
Yeah, we'll talk about them here in a second, too. We'll start with 8.
But yes, tragedy struck the number 6.
Yeah, it's like eventually, because at first they did not know what was wrong. Let's see, I wrote broken oil pump. Yes. The oil pump was broke, so they ended up having to take it behind the wall and just never got it done in time.
It was, yeah. It did not return to the track.
It didn't. And so they got on the radio with the sister car, the number 7, and were like, we don't know what's wrong, so keep the car above this amount of RPM. So this is your RPM level. You have to keep it above. And this was during, like, the caution yellow stuff, too.
Yeah, which means that you have to downshift so that your RPMs are higher.
Oh, God, yeah.
Which then screws you over on all of your other numbers.
Yeah, everything gets, I mean, the engineers are just doing maths for like every single 5 minutes. I'm sure they were like, time to look at everything again and readjust.
Lots of math. I mean, it was the IMSA version of speed.
Yeah, it really was.
You can't go below 40 miles an hour or your car might catch fire.
It might. You never know. So, well, all right, so speaking of catching fire, but let's finish the 2 Penskes first before we forget. So the number 6 finished 8, and the number 7 finished 3rd overall.
They did, and that was Taylor, Castroneves, and Rossi.
Who, for his debut race as an IMSA driver, did fantastic.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know when he's behind the wheel in the car, like, Elio's out there for speed. Elio wants to go fast.
And when Elio got the lead for a little bit, the 7 passed the 6, and I was like, don't let him get too far because that's Elio's game.
Right, as soon as he gets far enough, he's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, he is the coast king. Like, he gets in front of you, and then he just holds you off.
You're just
from a distance.
I'm out.
And he started that game, and I was like, oh, this is it for the 6, but then other things happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Elio.
And you put Elio in for speed, you put Rossi in for, like, all right, we're behind, we need to start making some passes. And I knew it. I'm like, he's in the car. Oda.
Yeah.
He's working traffic.
That man has never met a groove he won't drive on, I'll tell you that.
But exactly. Everything is a groove to him.
Everything.
So, yeah.
Everything's the high line if you're ballsy enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's also true when we drive home.
Fact.
Yeah, if you're not going to play well and go fast on the left, that's fine. I'll just scoot on over the
I
right.
will pass you on the right.
It's not a problem for me.
Just like Alexander Rossi.
We just pull Rossi's on our drive home.
Which, another super fun thing about this race being all night long is, since it's at night with the lights,
They can flash their lights!
they can flash their headlights
that's
to
my
be like,
favorite thing about
get out
this
of my
race.
way.
The DPIs just flicker the lights. And you can see it, and it makes me giggle.
And we just laughed and said, how long until Rossi is petitioning somebody to let him have those in IndyCar?
I mean, I'm here for it. I would sign that. I don't have any right to sign that petition, but I would.
Oh, I would love that.
Because I think it'd be fun to watch.
It would be great.
Oh, it's one of those like weird things. Rossi was Penske's 100th different driver, and he won the 100th running.
Oh, that is interesting.
I mean, it has nothing to do with anything, but I saw that little, like, he's Penske's 100th different driver, and I was like, and he won the 100th!
I like that.
So there's 2 facts for everybody who might have this category at Jeopardy.
Hashtag fun facts.
Hashtag shit we didn't make up. There it is. There's just shit we didn't make up for the day.
There you go.
But yeah, Penske's.
Oh, those Acuras were fast.
They were fast. Unfortunately, one caught on fire. And speaking of catching on fire, the Mazdas.
Oh my God, it was a bad day for Mazda. I'll tell you that.
So the number 77, which got the pole and set a record, caught on fire.
Yeah, sure
Just
did.
caught on fire.
It never returned.
It did not return.
The 55 got into some shit.
Yeah, they had some engine shit too.
They did return, but
I think that was the one they took in the back. They said, and I quote, there was a small explosion.
yeah.
But it cut back out, and I was like, huh? What do you mean, small explosion?
All right then.
So that's unfortunate. I mean, they had the pole, and then they did not win.
They did not.
I'm looking through my list of IndyCar drivers to see if anybody else was on the DPI.
No, you're fine. The 84 was in the DPI class. They also did not do that well.
No.
And that was the JDC Miller Motorsports.
No.
Yeah, and that was one of the Cadillacs.
Yeah. I mean, the other Cadillac was, of course, the Konica. Look, guys, I don't pronounce it at all. We should all know this.
Here's the thing. If you're old enough to remember this, Konica used to make SLR cameras. And so in my mind, and I've now transferred this to Bali, I always get Konica and Minolta mixed up because we kept them in the same camera bag at home.
Yep.
And so I keep wanting to throw extra letters into Konica, and now I'm like,
Now I'm doing it. See? This is what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just from the south of Indianapolis, and, sometimes we
Get a
make
little
up
country.
words.
Yep.
But speaking of the second Cadillac, who won? Fernando.
Yes.
He has now won the Rolex 24. Really, all that's left
Is the Indy 500.
the Indy 500.
That's it.
And I feel like we should pause here to talk about Fernando's attitude.
Oh, we could do an entire podcast on Fernando's attitude. I have such respect for somebody that has less fucks than me.
Right, we joke because we have the Fernando Alonso I don't give a fuck scale, which is coming out again when he's doing the 500. Like,
oh, that's 100% coming back out.
after his first, as soon as we know the date of his first test, that's when we will debut it.
Yes. And so be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's fun, but he gets none. And my favorite part was when they were waiting for IMSA to finally call it, and there's the live stream of their team. He yawned.
Yeah, he's sitting there just
Chilling.
yeah, shooting the
Leaning
shit.
back.
Lean
whispering,
back.
shattering.
Yeah. And then I just see him cover his mouth while he just has a big old yawn, and then kind of stretches and readjusts in the chair.
And that's it. He's just going about his life. He knows he won. He's ready for y'all to realize that he won. Please.
And I love that they
Thank
kept
you.
trying to catch him in drama, and they were like, they said, well, what about, we know you're talking to the officials, and he was, waving his arms and things, and, and they said, what about that? And he said, it's silly. I'm not mad. It's just silly to have people drive in unsafe conditions.
Right? And then, there's a whole thing where he, Twitter's oh no, Alonso was going to have a word with a pace car driver, which you use the phrase have a word with, meaning, you about to start some shit.
Yeah.
Instead, he was just, getting the pace car driver's feel of the conditions.
Yeah, it wasn't a, it was, hey, you're
what
the
are
one
you
out there
seeing?
following the one hair dryer.
Yeah, first of all.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Because
what
it's
are
not
you
like
seeing?
it's not like in Detroit where they just have somebody who owns a dealership drive the pace car.
That's a classic throwback there.
In case you forgot about that.
We didn't.
But yeah, so I mean, it's an experienced driver who drives the pace car for this.
Right.
So yeah, it's like he was going there driver to driver to be like, to say, is it as shitty as I think it is?
Right, like, I'm following you, like, what are you seeing?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the line, you're up front, what do you see?
But yeah, no, that man just...
doesn't give a... But he just drives that car. It's, I don't know, it's a study to watch him drive cars.
It's like watching someone compose classical music.
Exactly. Like, that's 100% it. He knows what he's doing. He has set stuff up, like, laps back.
It's almost the perfect blend of art and science. It's like he's not surgical because there's more to it than that, but there's a beauty in it.
Yes. And I mean, like, that last pass, part of it was luck because the car spun out, but it was the same exact area
He was coming for that car.
Well, yeah, 100%. But it's the same area that he could have spun out, and he just had that car. He felt, I don't know, he almost is, like, weirdly a part of the car, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
He won. We'll see him in May. And if he wins in May, like we discussed,
he will be the second person ever.
That's not where I was going.
Oh.
I was going, in 1 year, he would have won Le Mans,
Oh, yeah.
Rolex, and
The Indy 500.
the Indy 500. Like, that's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
Within the same 12-month period.
Yeah, like, it's a year, but it's not like calendar year, but whatever.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would just be awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a great storyline.
That's a great storyline. So, all right.
I say, and it would be him completing the Triple Crown.
That too, obviously. Very excited about
That's
that.
where I was going with it.
Yeah,
but,
I was like, well, I mean that too. Yeah.
So, but yeah, gotta love Alonso.
All right.
Oh, shout out to everybody else in this team, though. By the way,
Right, like
Van der Zandt, Kobayashi, and then Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor, who makes hilarious videos and has also what I believe is a doodle. So we're doodle parent friends.
Yes,
he doesn't know it yet, but doodles have a thing.
You guys have a bond.
Your dog is just as weird. Oh, okay, so it's not my dog that's a weirdo.
No,
Because all other doodles have weird character quirks. Cool.
they do.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, but yeah, great race.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people just wanted, and I will say this because a lot of people asked Alonso, would you have called for the race to be red flagged if you weren't winning? Because some people think that there were some politics at play.
Right, which everybody's going to say that.
Everybody's going to say that. I understand that. However, I think that Alonso was the one to make a big fuss about it because he has the weight to do that.
Yes.
Not everybody has the experience level that will be received respectfully.
Exactly.
Whereas his opinion is going to be respected in the fact that when he says he's fearful of the conditions, that he's concerned it's going to result in serious crashes. And they even said, would you have said that if you were in second place? And he didn't miss a beat. Absolutely.
100%.
He said, I absolutely would have. There was no need to be driving.
Yeah, so. Let's see, our other IndyCar guys. Oh boy, Dixon and Bourdais, the Chip Ganassi cars.
Oh,
It was
Ganassi had a rough weekend.
rough weekend. I mean, both cars had damage throughout the race.
Yes.
Both of them did. Dixon's car had damage in the beginning, like pit lane damage within the first few. I almost want to say it's like in the initial lap leaving, so they had to come in and do some shit.
Take that back.
They got it. They got the lap slots back.
They did, which is amazing. And that had Ryan Briscoe, Westbrook, and Dixon. They actually ended up being fourth in their class, which is amazing.
Yes, and at one point they were third, but there was some sort of weird penalty with the pit lane. I'm not 100% sure what the penalty was, but it lost them a point or a place.
It did.
Yeah, well, that sucks even more. And then the Bourdais car ended up. I want to say seventh. No. Yeah, I was right. Yay!
Yep, they were seventh in class.
They got collected during the Mighty Mighty Rain clustering.
Yes, they did.
Of everybody. Which we've retweeted it, but shit's happened. But there's some great. It's not great because an accident happened. The on camera of a few of the restart kerfluffles.
Yeah.
You just watch and you're like, why? Yeah, like watch that. If you're like, they should have ran the race under grade. Just watch that.
Yeah, go watch some of those videos and then come back and tell us. Yeah.
And if you still think that way, get in your car, wait till it rains, find a puddle, a long puddle, and hit that puddle at 100 miles an hour, and then call me.
You know what? hit it at 45 and then call me.
Yeah, you're not going to hit it either way, but...
Yeah. And if you still have a problem, well, you can come to Speedway in May.
Find us at the track, and we will discuss
Say it to my face.
Say it to my face!
But, I mean, truly, we were very lucky that none of those crashes
Really
resulted
were.
in any serious injuries.
There was one, and it was one of the yellow Porsches, I believe, hit turn 1, skipped across like you skip a stone, and right into that barrier. And I was like, oh, no.
That was the cause of a super long yellow, because they had to redo that whole barrier.
Yeah, and get the car out of a puddle in a tire barrier.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, that's going to take a bit.
That car, as you said, that night, skipped across that grass like it was a stone on a pond.
Exactly. Like that was the only way to, because it popped a few times.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! No, it's gonna be bad. R2.
It is amazing there were no injuries.
I am floored there were no injuries.
And I think that they were extremely lucky that we went that long and didn't have any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it would have been inevitable had they tried to race again.
It just kept getting worse and worse. It kept getting worse and worse. So.
At some point, it's just like, we've been pretty lucky so far. Let's cut and run.
Let's not try this again.
No.
We have ran out of luck. So our newest member to the IndyCar team, Colton Herta.
Yeah.
Colton podiums.
Heck yeah.
That was so exciting for him.
It's very exciting for him.
His team, they were the class winner. He got a watch, that's right.
Yeah, no, they were the class winner.
The GTLM class winner.
Yeah, the BMW team RLL.
Yeah,
it was Christian De Filippi. Is it Paul Ing?
Sure.
Yeah. Farfus and then Colton Herta. So yeah, they were first in class in the GTLM.
Yeah, they were the sister car to Zanardi's car.
Yes.
So, good for Colton. Like, that's the way to start off your rookie year is coming up. Let's go ahead and just win your class for Daytona.
I mean, talk about starting the year off right.
Yeah, exactly. And then, we won't cover this in the news now, but Award just handling shit in the race of champions. Like,
oh my gosh.
Don't sleep on Harding Steinbrenner Racing this year.
Yeah.
I know that they are rookies, but these kids are coming out swinging already.
Yeah, they're coming down hot.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun to watch them.
Oh, and this is the off season for them too. So yes, they're serious about it. Yes, they're but this isn't their jam.
Right. This isn't what they do regularly.
This is like a warm up.
Yeah.
It's like a scrimmage to them.
They're just an exhibition.
Yeah.
Playing it.
So, yeah.
Excited for Colton. And then Aaron Tielitz, who's in Indy Lights, but still.
But yes.
And who was in a car with Townsend Bell.
Oh.
Who also decided to be extra. Let's just call Townsend extra. And not only did he drive, but he also was doing announcing or more like character, all right, interviewing, reporting from that. And then he decided to throw in that he got an 8-hour nap in.
Yeah, apparently he went to bed at 3 a.m., was supposed to get up in a couple hours to drive, and when he woke up, it was red flagged. So I guess he just went back to sleep.
He was like, I'm going to take a longer nap. He's like, yeah, I got a full 8 in. The hell, Townsend?
Townsend slept longer than we did.
I know. Townsend got the most sleep out of anybody at the racetrack.
Everybody at the racetrack, exactly. Yeah. He looks great on camera. Well, no shit, you got a full night's sleep. That's not a nap, Townsend. I'm not even going to get 8 hours tonight. I work tomorrow.
But yeah, got third in their class, which is GTD, the GT Daytona.
Yes.
And they were the All-American team.
They were. So, yeah, Townsend Bell, Montecalvo, Segal, and Tielitz.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't remember Tielitz, he's the Happy Little Race Cars.
Happy Little Race Cars. We interviewed him at
Road America.
And we sang Vanessa Carlton randomly because that's what you do.
Yeah. He's really fun, and I'm excited to see him in another season of Indy Lights.
I'm hopeful this is the year he gets to jump up.
I hope so, too.
He wins and then jumps up.
I hope so, too. And I think that, being on a team with a driver who is established like Townsend Bell, I just think only does good things for you. And the times that we have talked to Tielitz, he's very receptive to learning. And,
I'm sure he's just a sponge absorbing everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Townsend's a wealth of knowledge, aside from his own racing career, announcing and all that. And we discussed before, he's more than just an announcer. We have witnessed him
talking shop.
Yeah, talking shop with the drivers because he doesn't want to be out of touch.
Yeah.
And probably also just because he's still mean,
He still has that, like...
he still has a half shot for racing,
Let's
obviously.
be real. It's okay.
Yeah, like, he's just giddy about it.
You can discuss it. It's fine.
Yeah, so, yeah, what a good team. But yeah,
It's a
All-American
great
team.
All-American.
Yeah, and they were third in class.
Yeah, it's very good. So we got a podium out of it.
Got a podium out of that.
I mean, it wasn't a bad year for the IndyCar guys.
It wasn't, but Ganassi definitely didn't do as well as they wanted to. Well, in the other Ganassi car, let's see, because we talked about the Dixon car, the Bourdais car.
Yeah, we talked about the Bourdais car. They got collected in the damage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they
well,
ended up 7th.
And the Dixon car, they pitted just before they went red.
Oh, God.
And so they actually would have been first.
Yes, and then the pit, that's heartbreaking.
Because everybody was waiting for IMSA to do something. And then they weren't, and it was like, well, fuck it, we better pit.
Well, it said first, and then they thought they were going to go green.
Yeah.
So okay, let's get this taken care of. Get ready to go. Fact.
So
it did not affect.
Yeah. Well, and that's where going back to nobody wants to be race director. I'm like, actually, I would love it because the thing is, I'm gonna make a decision. I'm gonna stick with it. I can make a split-second decision.
I will make the decision. I will talk to you about why I made that decision. But I mean, you can either like it or not.
But this on the fence and back and forth. Should we? Shouldn't we? Let's let him.
You gotta make a
let's let him
decision.
parade around in a yellow for another 20 laps while we just talk this amongst ourselves.
Nope.
Not happening. This is not a democracy, people.
Nope. I am race director. I am God.
Yeah.
There you go. Who is it? Kyle Novak is head of race control for IndyCar, so
yeah,
he should have that shirt.
Yeah.
No, he is race director. I don't know. Their titles are a little not in my head again because it's been long enough that I've pushed them down.
Yes.
I just need to reread something. I'll be fine.
But yeah, no, they just and that's the thing is that you couldn't really predict what IMSA was going to do because we would have thought that it would have been yellowed or red long before that, and then they didn't. So
Yep.
So yeah, very very interesting.
Never a dull moment in IMSA, I guess.
Never a dull moment in this car. It's raining again.
Feels like it should be fitting. We started it in the rain. There was rain during the race. We will end it in the rain.
We sure will.
We like to theme.
We do. AJ Allmendinger finished 5th in class in the GTD class. Also did some reporting in addition to driving.
Yes. Townsend was real quick to point out whose car finished higher than his, though.
Right?
I was like, that's a little catty, Townsend.
Yeah. He's like, we were on the podium. Where would you guys finish?
Oh, yeah, 5th. Okay. Not on the podium, though. He's like, well, maybe you'll get yours next time. Damn it, Townsend.
God. That was a backhanded compliment.
I know.
Awfully sassy for a man who got a full night's sleep.
Well, he's feeling good.
Right? Cracking jokes. Oh,
God.
too funny. Let's see. So the Yunkos car, they did finish.
They did, yeah. No, they did.
Yep,
They finished the whole thing, so that's great.
All of theirs. Awesome for them. I don't think, what other cars do we want to touch on? I know there was, obviously.
The Caterpillar car.
The Caterpillar car, Meyer Shank Racing.
They had quite a trying. I mean, they were top 10 at times, which is fantastic.
They were. I mean, they pushed their way up to 7th and were making moves.
They really did, and then.
And they held 7th for a hot minute.
As with most cars, they got damaged during the rain, and it just, that was late enough, and then because there were so many cautions afterward, even though the car got back out, like you can't make that up.
You can't pass on a yellow.
No, you really can't.
And the times that it went green in the rain, I mean, it was Russian roulette as to whether or not you were going to make it when you went to pass somebody.
It felt like bumper cars.
Yeah.
It just felt like bumper cars, so.
Just sliding around.
They finished
13th, actually.
I can't look at my notes and drive in winter weather now.
Yep. 13th in class.
Well, that's okay.
33rd overall.
It's not, I mean, they finished. I feel like this is one of those races where you get a point for finishing already.
Absolutely.
We'll see. They'll be hitting more races in the IMSA.
They will. That team there, that's the team for IMSA for that IMSA team.
Well, Jackie Heinreicher will be back. She had back issues, so she couldn't ride in
gotcha.
But everybody else is still there.
Yeah. So we were very excited about that. We actually got to talk to
BBC about it.
And they were there to cover Catherine Legg specifically and that team. And They asked if they could interview us, and we said, absolutely.
Of course.
This is what we do.
Yeah, okay. What do you... Oh, you're here to talk about Cat Lake? Let's go.
What would you like to know?
How can we discuss this with you? What would be helpful to you?
We got stopped by Speed TV with a German reporter.
guy, yeah.
When our whole group went to go and watch the fireworks and then ride the Ferris wheel because Molly and I aren't the only ones who dress in checkers.
It's quite the group when we all get together.
I mean, we look pretty ridiculous even if none of us are wearing checkers, but we all typically wear checkers. And
we kind of look like a weird checker gang.
We do.
We roll out like a gang. Let's be real honest about that.
We do. Although my favorite question and answer was the guy said, so this is the best race in the world? And Brian said, it's pretty good.
It's pretty, like, what? Now,
did you miss that we just said we're from Speedway?
right, did you not catch that? We were like, oh,
Did
no,
you not
we're
see
all...
his shirt that says, fuck you, we're from Indianapolis?
What do you think we are going to say is the best race in the world, Betty? Like, it's a good race, don't get me wrong.
It's a great race.
It's not the best.
It is not the best.
It is, in fact, not the best race.
No.
Yeah.
I might even, I'll put it in the top 5.
Oh, definitely.
Easily, maybe the top 3.
I don't know. I'd have to think on if I want to put it in the top 3.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that call yet.
I know. I'm like, definitely top 5.
Definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Yes. Just overall as a race, not this particular one.
Yes, yeah. Overall, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, that team, and I'm excited to see how they do the rest of their IMSA season.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep watching
because they just have hard hitters in that car.
It is a car of hard hitters. So.
And what I enjoy the most about Cat Leg, and we talked about this last year as well, is that she doesn't just drive it; she is in the shit.
Yes.
I mean, she could take that car apart and put it back together.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she
100%.
is, yeah.
She knows it. She's not going to back down from anything. She's a wealth of knowledge for that team.
Oh, and when things are happening on the car, I mean, she's right there helping. I mean,
Yeah.
giving input. I mean, she'll pick up a wrench and get dirty.
If necessary, if you need
necessary,
somebody.
yeah.
She's there for you.
I love that about her.
Yeah.
So that was very exciting for that team. Full results can be found online. We are not going to run through every
God,
single
no.
car because there are 47 of them, and I just got my voice back.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing that.
Love you guys, but I'm not your Google.
We don't love you that much.
Nope.
Don't take it personally. We wouldn't do it for our families either.
Nope.
Nope.
Wouldn't happen.
All right. Well, how about
Oh, let's talk about Zanardi though, real quick.
that? It's just, it's interesting. It's inspiring, I guess. I always feel like there should be a better word than inspiring, is what I want to say. That's why I'm not like being, there should be a better word to describe it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's impressive and it's amazing to me that we have the technology.
Yeah.
That they could switch out his steering wheel for it to be one that he can control with just his hands.
Yes.
Which they did have a little kerfluffle with getting the steering wheel attached initially,
Yeah.
which I'm sure they practiced that, and then of course it messes up on race day, as it does.
Because that's what's going to happen, yeah.
Yep. But it's impressive that somebody who is a 2-time 8500 winner, has a lengthy racing history,
Yeah.
loses his legs in a crash, doesn't give up.
Right.
He's still ready to get behind the wheel and did.
Yeah, and he did. Like, and
it's just,
they didn't do that bad either.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, without that steering wheel kerfluffle, I think they would have done even better.
Yeah. And probably the rain and shit like that also.
Well, yeah, all that too.
It doesn't help anybody.
But I'm impressed because I don't know that I, as a person,
Right, that you
would have that much drive and gumption. Yeah.
There's a moment where you hear all that and you're like, I cannot make up an excuse for anything else in my life. I'm like, this can happen.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't know that that I would still want to drive after that.
I know, there'd be a moment. There definitely would be.
So yeah, very impressed.
100% impressed with that.
And even more impressed with the engineers and everybody that made that vision a reality.
Because like there's technology, there's a assistive adaptive driving technology, but that's our cars. Like this is a different
It's a race car
situation. Like a lot more is needed. So yeah, they had to just take what we already have, like racing does. It's the innovation. Take what we have and transform it and evolve it.
Absolutely.
And that's what this race is all about. The Daytona is learning what cars can do to be better. Like everything in our car comes in part from this race, a lot of it.
Yeah.
All the improvements.
And that's why you see things catch fire and things go wrong because they take these cars to and above their limits.
To see, okay, this didn't work. We're not putting it in the cars coming out in like 3 years.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we can do all of this and the car is fine.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do love this race for the innovation.
I do too. I really
And just
do.
in 24 hours, so many things can happen. So many things can go right, so many things can go wrong, and you've got to stay sharp and be able to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because your entire plan can change.
I am sure plans changed 14 different times.
Oh,
this race.
absolutely. So, very cool.
It's always a great race.
It is always a great race.
It's weird, and now we've got a little bit to wait. That's always what sucks. You're like, yay!
And we get all excited in that.
We gotta wait.
Well, let's see, we've got, maybe 6 or 7 weeks.
That sounds about right.
Somewhere in there, so
It's coming.
each week we could watch 4 hours of this race.
There you go. I don't know. I mean,
It'd be like watching 2 IndyCar races a week.
Well, maybe people just do that instead.
Yeah.
Maybe just watch IndyCar races.
Just review last season.
Yeah, there you go. Refresh, review, get ready. Oh, we should run down. We had some, before we sign off and say bye, everybody, for this one. IndyCar news.
Oh.
We had just a few. Let's see. Arrow came in as Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports, big giant sponsor. So now it's Arrow Schmidt-Peterson Motorsport.
Yes, it is.
So that's exciting.
And all their cars match. We all saw that already.
I hate matching cars.
It's so hard to tell who's who.
Just, why do you hate me?
I know. Where's that LED screen, IndyCar?
They're working on it.
Okay.
They're testing it. There was an article that came out. They are retesting to see if they can bring it back.
Well, that's good.
So, we talked about NTT. Let's see. Bommarito renewed for St. Louis.
All right.
Rev is in for Road America.
Really?
Yeah. Rev, not our Rev,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Rev the... Sorry,
Yeah.
you say Rev in Indy, or
I know, it's a different thing.
the RV
Yeah.
motorhome stuff. So they're going to be Road America's title sponsor.
Oh.
And of course, Jack Harvey's in for 10 races this season.
Hell yeah.
Woo! It's okay. Here we go. This is the test. St. Pete, Coda, Long Beach,
Indy 500.
Indy Grand Prix, Indy 500, Road America, Mid Ohio. I am missing one and I know it. Portland, Laguna. Shit, I can't think of what that last one is.
Not Pocono.
I have it written down. I just can't read my notes and drive at the same time.
Not Detroit.
St. Pete, Barber.
Oh, Barber. Awesome.
So he'll be there for 10 races this time.
Yeah.
Again,
we will be there for almost all of those.
Almost all of them, except Coda. And Laguna Seca and Portland. So 7
Yeah.
out of the 10. We will be there cheering for you, buddy.
Get to see those baby blues.
Oh my God. They are striking. They're just striking.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that we are recording on Monday, and the W Series dropped their list of drivers, and Sabra will be moving on to the second round, which is like a more intense driving test.
It is. And,
Unfortunately, Bruna did not.
yep, I'm sad about that.
And neither did Carmen Jordan.
Carmen Jordan also did not move on.
So we'll see what she has to say about that, I guess.
Yep.
Or we won't. I don't really care anymore. I suppose that's really the better answer or I just don't care because you ran out of excuses.
Yeah, so, Little Miss, women shouldn't compete with men because we're not good enough, is also apparently not good enough to compete against only women.
Maybe she should compete against toddlers.
I don't know, some of those kids in karting are pretty fast.
I'm just saying. I mean, they'll probably still beat her. Sorry. Ooh, we're a little catty right now.
Oh, a little hateful.
All right, you think we should white flag this?
I think we should white flag it.
All right, what do you got?
You know what? Let's do what I love to do at the end of trips. What was your favorite part?
Not falling asleep on the couch. No. I think so. This is going to be so of a random funny part. But we had been up for 13 hours, more than 13 hours, because we didn't just wake up at 2.
Correct. I got up at 9.
I was about 8.
Yeah.
7:38. So we had been up for quite some time. We had struggled a bit, so we got up, left our campsite, went back down, spent some time at the track, came back to the campsite. We're like, oh, man, it's like 3 o'clock. We got another good solid 3.5 hours before light even starts to come through. Like we were
desperate need of caffeine,
and we were gonna make like cold coffee by mixing the instant flavored coffee in water and shaking it.
because our grill somehow
We just have to stare at it, I think.
yeah.
But who do we see awake? Doug and Mr. Tom. And as we start to pull this stuff out, I look over, and Doug is starting to make coffee.
And I just hear Molly say, "Oh, God bless Doug, he's making coffee."
And I know that is the funniest thing to be like, how can that be your favorite moment? But
You have no idea.
I think it encapsulates, like, at the Rolex, things just happen. And sometimes they are good, and sometimes they are bad. And just walking in 3 a.m., not figuring out what we're going to do, and coffee is being made, it pushed us through, I think. So
It really did. No, that was.
it's such a lame favorite moment, but it's a moment that tickles me very much.
Oh, I'm with you. That was excellent.
How about you?
I thoroughly enjoyed, except that I was a little leery of carnival rides in general.
Oh, that's true.
But we did ride the Ferris wheel
Yeah.
at night, which is very cool because the Ferris wheel had all these LED lights that did all this cool shit. And
Yeah.
all the different classes have all these different colored lights. And so it's at night, and you can see the whole track because you're way up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't actually do that last year.
No.
And so to be up there and get to see it and see all these cars, and then there was actually
Spin-off.
yeah, there was a spin-off and some contact that happened while we were up there, and we were in perfect view to see it in the horseshoe. I think you were taking a picture, and somebody else was facing the other way or taking pictures of T-Swan was taking pictures of Donnie and Nancy, and I'm hitting everybody. I'm like, cars off! Cars off!
We all just flip over to look.
It's like, stop what you're doing. There's racing happening still.
Something just happened in front of us. Ah!
And we were just right there, and so yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Being up in the Ferris wheel and all the different lights, and
It was very cool.
it's very cool. It's one of those where it's, there's not many, I don't know if there's any other tracks that have a Ferris wheel on the inside. I mean, is there anywhere else that you can even do that?
I think there might be some sort of carnival atmosphere at Le Mans, but I don't know where it's all located in regards to the track.
Yeah.
Like, this
the
is
fact that this is all housed
encased.
inside, yeah. So it's just one of those things that I definitely regret that we didn't do it the first year because that was super, super cool.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So if you ever go, absolutely ride the Ferris wheel at night.
Yes. I mean, ride it also during the day if you want to live your life, but
Yeah,
at
if
night
your
it's so
Ferris
much
wheel
cooler.
can. Oh, yeah. So
All right.
I think so.
I think that's it.
That's about it. All right. Well, you guys take care. We'll see you next week.